Zimbabwean President Emmerson Mnangagwa has recognized an increasing threat to the country's security situation, which has prompted amnesty for anyone who is in illegal possession of firearms and ammunition to surrender them. Zimbabwe has of late seen a spike in armed robberies, a development which has been attributed to the rapid increase of guns and related weaponry in the country.
The amnesty on involuntary surrender of guns was necessitated after government realized that some individuals were inadvertently in unlawful possession of weapons, and some cases have been retired or have since retired and 7 soldiers and police officers being implicated in armed robberies. To discuss further on this development is Zimbabwe's National Police spokesperson, Assistant Commissioner Paul Nyathi. He joins us live from Harare. Good morning and thank you for joining us.
Good morning.
I think a good way to start the conversation would be to ask, what is the provision for gun laws in Zimbabwe? Can civilians own guns? What is the gun control policy like in Zimbabwe?
The law is very clear. We have got the Firearms Act, Chapter 10.09, which regulates, which outlines how an individual, how institutions can possess or own a firearm. So anyone who wants to own a firearm, possess a firearm, should just comply with this piece of legislation.
All right. What would you say has prompted the amnesty for the illegal possession of firearms? Was Zimbabwe dealing with a high arms proliferation?
One of the issues which the public should take note locally and regionally is that Zimbabwe is part of SADC, and the Southern African Development Community has got a protocol which is regulating the issue of firearms control and ammunition and also related materials. Specifically Article 12 on the SADC protocol on firearms control. So this is what Zimbabwe is also complying with. And this operation is not unique to Zimbabwe. All SADC member states are also enforcing this operation. And in Zimbabwe, it is the effect. We've had robbery cases. We've had murder cases where you find that, in the last 2 weeks, we had this case where a forex dealer in Harare shot his girlfriend with a pistol after a dispute. And we realized that as we were conducting investigations, this pistol was not licensed. And we wanted to find out how did this suspect came to be in possession of the pistol. We have also arrested people who have been trying to get into the country with the pistols. Remember, we had somebody being arrested in Bedbridge. We had killed 2 people in South Africa and was now in the process of illegally getting into Zimbabwe with a pistol which had not been declared. Then we've had the robbery case in Zimbabwe, where you find that people with the expired firearm licenses have not surrendered these firearms. These firearms are being used to commit crime. We've had people who have died, people who have passed on. Their relatives have not bothered to surrender these firearms to the police in terms of the law. Then we have got members who are part of gun clubs, and the gun clubs are no longer operational. They have not bothered to surrender firearms. We also have some security companies where we've had their guards being robbed in cash in transit activities, and the firearms have not been recovered. So it's a broad spectrum of an amnesty where we want members of the public, where we want institutions with firearms which are not registered, with firearms which are not legally owned, to come forward and voluntarily surrender the firearms.
Okay, now let's talk about the time frame for this. I don't know if there is any established time frame within which they are to return these unregistered firearms. Do you probably have information you can share with us as far that angle?
Certainly, certainly. The amnesty runs from 8th August 2022 up to 30th September 2022. And I want to make it clear that according to the amnesty which has been granted by His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, President Mnangagwa, no criminal charges will be preferred on anyone.
All right, and so far, has there been any positive response from the public? I'm asking you, has there been any positive response from the public since this was announced? So far
certainly. As we speak, as of today, we have 10 firearms which were surrendered to the police yesterday. And the people who surrendered, they were officially given receipts to confirm that they've surrendered firearms and they are not going to face any criminal charges. So we want to appeal to the public to continue cooperating and ensure that all illegal firearms, all firearms left by late family members, all firearms which have licenses which expired should be surrendered in terms of the presidential amnesty.
Information reaching us is that after the expiration of the amnesty, there will be searches that will be conducted from house to house, and then criminal charges, will then be preferred against people who are still in charge of illegal firearms. Is this true? Are you with us, Paul?
Pardon?
Yes, I was asking, like, in the event that one doesn't turn in their firearms, what happens to them? Because information reaching us is that there will be a house-to-house search going on after the duration of the expiration of this amnesty. Can you confirm that?
Certainly. After the 30th of September, we will check with our database. Remember, anyone who possesses firearms, whether it's an individual, it's a company, the records are with the police. So we will verify with our database and also conduct a residential and business premise check to ensure that all firearms are accounted for. And we have also appealed to individuals, to companies who have got valid firearm licenses, which allows them to be in possession of firearms for their various activities, which include mining, farming, cash in transit activities, to go to local police stations and update their records, so that when we do our checks, we will not have hassles. So definitely, we want the public to cooperate. Then, after the 30th of September 2022, anyone who will be found in possession of firearm without being properly registered, without having a valid firearm license, will certainly be arrested, and the due process of the law will be followed.
All right. Assistant Commissioner Paul Nyathi, thanks for your time this morning, and we likely would speak with you after the expiration of this deadline that's been given by the Zimbabwean government. Thanks for your time once again.